Next around this hillbilly-ass town of Hutchinson, Kansas.
That's right.
I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know. He puts a little push behind me. And I'm far
That's
And
right.
he's got his Hawaiian shirt on in case he ever has to run out of the country and go over there.
now that Hawaiian shirt does mean a thing or two, but we're not gonna put that with him. We're
gotta
not.
sneak in the building like any other show I'm on.
Hey, I'll tell you, I love sneaking into buildings.
Well, I might have to sneak into one here coming up real soon.
We'll get him a Hawaiian shirt.
And I improve, folks. The Hawaiian shirts does not mean that. Hawaiian shirts don't mean
I'm going to
that.
wear a 10-gallon hat. Nobody will ever know it's me.
Are you going to be Cowboy Mangler?
No, Cowboy Bob Mangler.
Cowboy Bob Mangler.
I broke my hand 3 times. It might work.
Cowboy Bob Mangler. That is tremendous. Okay, I think we have our guest. Kristine Grant is joining us.
Welcome, Kristine Grant.
On the old Skip Skype.
From the old antique Skype.
We have Samantha with us. We have the fabulous Mangler and Killer Carl in the vicinity.
The best tag team or faction that you've ever had in the Midwest or Kansas or Hutchinson or Wellington or Wichita, all combined in the last 12 fucking years.
That's because we tagged once 12 years ago.
And
That's
nobody can ever beat that. So ask the Interplanetary Alliance.
That's right. Or the Midwest Marvels.
Well, you can only ask half of them now.
You can only ask one.
It's not too soon, I promise. I waited for that one for a long time.
He waited for that one before he
Come on,
dropped
man.
that
Chris,
one.
don't get mad at me.
So Kristine, welcome to the program. Thanks for joining us. This is going to be a heck of a deal, as they say. So Kristine, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first and foremost, I'm not a techie. Can you hear me?
We've got you. We're just.
Okay, good. Okay. And I haven't been on Skype in God knows when. So happy that I figured it out, and I'm so happy to be here. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
My specialty that goes along with our spring weather is spring cleaning relationships.
Okay. You know, the Mangler might mean to be doing some spring cleaning relationships.
Wait a minute. Spring cleaning relationships. How do you do that? Because when I spring clean my house, I open all of the windows and all of the doors, and I let the shit just flow right on out. But the last girlfriend, it took a court order.
Yeah, I was going to say, how's that working for you?
It worked really well once the sheriff showed up.
Right, she flowed on out with the shit.
It worked once the sheriff showed up.
So I don't want to have to call the sheriffs on the next one. So how does this work?
Yes. How does this work so we can save a call to law enforcement there, Kristine?
I can't say her name because she'll probably sue me.
Okay, so I think first you have to decide how did you guys end up together in the first place?
We're not talking about this. You just brought up a real sore subject. I got brought into the wrong Sunday radio show. That's the problem. This was a trap. This is like
It's like Admiral Akbar. It's a trap.
This is one step away from intervention.
Intervention.
I don't need a relationship intervention. I just need to know how this works, just in case I get caught up in another toxic situation.
Gotcha.
Kristine. Go ahead, Kristine. You're good. You keep talking.
All right, I thought I heard a doggy or something. Okay.
No.
right.
You're good. You're good.
So people contact me when they are undergoing what's called relationship fatigue. So maybe there is someone that your communication isn't so good, or you feel like, do I want this person to stay or go out of my life? Or you aren't clear on, where things are headed, or you're upset, or maybe you feel regret about something, or you're jealous, or it's any number of
Kristine,
things.
I wish Jiggy would have given me your number 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but 3 years ago, you could have saved my life.
Well,
And you know what I do now? I hit people with chairs really hard.
He's a pro wrestler.
you could be reborn. You could be reborn again.
Oh, well, let's not go that fucking far. Come on now.
Come on now. Go ahead, Kristine.
So, when you're trying to have a conversation and you can't really hear what the other person is saying, or you want to interrupt the conversation. I mean, I don't know if that you've ever experienced that, but what I bring back is the lost art of the love letter. Yeah, because when you give somebody a letter, they actually read it. They might even read it 2 or 3 times.
Or they throw it away like my last girlfriend.
No, they don't. Well, if it's a love letter,
I wrote her so many letters, and half of them were from my attorney.
letters.
She didn't listen to any of them.
Half of them were from your attorney.
Oh
my God.
I promise. I found them after she left. She didn't read one of them. She put them in a drawer. And what do you think a Valentine's card's going to do?
No, she read them and she put them in the drawer.
That's
Okay,
right.
There
you go. That's awesome. Christine, you are such a good sport.
Aren't I know. I'm just a pleaser. I'm all about harmony.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So Samantha, jump in there. I know you probably got some questions for Kristine, since, but you never have any bad relationships, Samantha. You just always, you're perfect.
Me? Well, I'm not even in any, because I kind of agree with her with everything that I'm doing. Always had somewhere, and I didn't have time, so I did the spring cleaning myself as well. I'm just single, doing my thing and my grind. So what got you, Kristine, into getting into all of this?
Okay, so it started like 17 years ago, where I had a friend who was looking for love and wanting to have a real relationship, and she met this guy, and she calls me up and she goes, "Oh, he's just such a catch. He's great. He's got all the right values and qualities I like. I just don't want to kiss him." And so she was really frustrated. There was no chemistry that showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "But I would love to keep him as a friend." So I said, "Well, then just tell him the truth. I mean, you wouldn't want somebody to lead you down the wrong path or mislead you." And this guy was sending flowers. I mean, he was really into her. And so she said, I really kind of suck at that. I mean, if I try to have a conversation, I'm going to end up feeling really embarrassed, and I might even hurt his feelings, and I'm just like beside myself. So I said, all right, well then why don't you just like write a note, put it in a card, and give it to him. Mm-hmm. And just like, say something nice, because she really wanted to keep him as a friend. I mean, she could have just been rude, but she really liked him.
So the solution is to politely friend zone everyone.
Now.
Well, to me, it sounds like that might be the best solution.
Listen,
if I like dick, I might be gay. I just don't.
Oh my God.
I'm just being. Listen, we're talking about relationships. Listen. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just saying.
Well, you're not trying.
We're not in church, for Christ's sake. So I'm not a pastor, and I'm not going to padding my language or anything. So for
I'm sure Kristine has heard a lot worse.
If she has to deal with people with those relationship problems, I'm sure she has. The fuck yous and the fuck yous back. Yeah. So listen, politely friend zone them into the other room, and then get rid of them, or evict them like I had to.
You just made her move her chair.
So as I was saying,
we should partner up. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
We should partner up. Go ahead, Kristine.
So she writes this little note to this guy, and trying to maintain the friendship, but she doesn't want to have it be more than that. And she gives it to me to read, and I tore it up. I said, "This is disgusting," because it was that old, "it's all about me, not you" routine.
Yes.
I don't really want a relationship, which she did. I really am not very good at relationships, which wasn't where she was at, just not with him. And so I tore it up. I wrote her note for him. She gave it to him. This is perfect. Well, not only did they remain as friends, but he did he was an attorney, and she had a legal situation come up. He did everything for free.
Wow.
Filings, letters, you name it. And I think she was going through a divorce. No, I'm teasing. So, teasing. Okay, so anyway.
So, okay, let me see here. She was nice to this guy, and because she was nice to this guy, she managed to get a whole bunch of legal stuff done for free.
And probably a lot of money.
It kind of works, you know?
Yes.
It's like, sugar.
I bet he bought dinner, too.
So.
Was he gay or was she gay?
Vinegar, isn't that the old saying? But so then she was really happy, and they remained friends. He actually married a lady some years ago. And then she
married someone else.
And then her friends started.
Oh, no.
And then I'm getting calls from people. I was from across the United States saying, I just got off this cruise ship, and I hear you write these amazing letters. And the letters that it just like grew to this huge, written over 400 letters.
You built this business basically.
Yeah, well, it's a business now. I did it because I enjoyed it. It was a great intervention for people. My background, I was a therapist, a family therapist for 20 some years, and a school psychologist. So I kind of know a lot about people, and I'm pretty psychic, pretty intuitive in many instances.
Yeah.
So I kind of use all those skills, and I'm a word person, So I ended up writing the book, which is Relationship: How to Write the Words You Really Want to Say.
Oh, we need to get a copy of that to the Mangler.
I would really like to write him down.
I'm going to rush one over. Okay, so...
he's got so many people that he needs to write one to.
I might need a scroll.
I need a scroll after this.
Actually, if you go to my website, now you can get a free ebook, which draws from a lot of the principles of how to write your own compelling message. Because this is the thing, people do read letters, and they don't interrupt. They read the letter, they contemplate it, and because you take the time to do it, you can sort your own thoughts out and not come straight from the ego. I'd rather be
that's going to be a problem for Mangler.
I think we need to set up a therapy session because all of my thoughts come from my ego.
Hurt and our shame, our regret, our wishful thinking, our anger, all that stuff, it's hard. So I come in because I don't have your ego. I don't own all that. I've got my own to deal with.
She's got her own ego to deal with.
I can hear it coming out.
So I don't carry your emotional baggage. You do. And I help to
Look
unpack it. I help with that spring cleaning. It's like, let's get rid of that. That emotion isn't working for you. Those old feelings don't work. And I write these letters that cause more often, instantaneous shifts for people. And it goes across everything, not just in romance and partnership and marriage, but people that are divorced that want to co-parent the kids. Instead of spending all the money on the attorneys, will call me and I will write that letter. I mean, one guy, I met him at a dinner party, and he took me aside and he said, I haven't seen my daughter, one of my kids.
I just should.
She didn't invite me to her high school graduation. I divorced her mom like 10 years ago, and her mom and I were college sweethearts and all that, but they had different agendas. Once they got married, his new wife just wanted to stay home, have kids right away, and have a very, kind of predictable life, according to him. And he wanted to travel and, and have adventures and all that, and then have the kids. So she was pregnant right away, and over in the span of 10 years of marriage, they had like 3 kids, and he felt very trapped. And so he left her, and out of spite, she turned the kids against him. And we've heard of that dynamic before. One parent is like, oh, your dad or your mom is terrible. And kids are conditioned not to want to be with that parent, or conditioned to maybe even manipulate that parent. So he actually lived in another state, but he was really wealthy. He grew his business. He had his own little plane and stuff, and he would fly and pick up his kids and bring them to his home on weekends and for vacations and such. So he had his daughter one summer, the oldest daughter, she was like 16, and she was sneaking out, taking his car keys while he was asleep and running around town and all this and that. And it didn't go over too big, and they got into an argument, and all of the mothers, negative thinking about the dad just like spilled over, and she hopped on a plane and went home. And he felt so bad when he didn't get invited to the graduation. He wanted me to write a letter to the daughter. And I said, we're going to the original source. I'm going to write a letter to your ex-wife. And he goes,
that'll be
no,
fun.
You're not. She's the most stubborn, recalcitrant person. It's my way, highway kind of personality. She hasn't spoken to me in 10 years. And she's hijacked emails and gifts and everything when I try to have a better relationship with my own children. I said, well, we have to get to the source. We have to get to the source of the wound and clean it up. So I wrote his letter, and her name was Jill. So I name all my letters. Hers is, and Jill came tumbling after, because after we wrote
That was
the letter,
pretty brutal.
and he calls me up and he goes, okay, I'm at the post office. I got the stamp on it. I'm ready to pop it in the mail. I'm shaking. And I said, what do you have to lose? Just bless it, say a prayer, and put it in the mailbox right now. So he did. And he called me like a week later. He goes, I haven't heard anything. And I said, well, let it marinate, because that's what you do. People have to read them, reread them, contemplate, and they have to do their own spring cleaning of emotions. So she ended up calling him, like it was about 2 or 3 weeks. He flies up to meet her. They sat down and had almost a 3-hour conversation, and they both got on the same page with the kids.
Wow.
Yeah. And she actually, like the following summer, he had 2 sons, younger than the daughter, and she set up a golf trip for him and the sons. She made all the plans. It was her idea. So that's how.
So can I ask you one question? I don't mean to interrupt you. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Go, Mangler.
I don't want to forget it.
That's awesome.
Right now, the Mangler.
Technically, it leads into the question: do you have any relationship stories about the men not being the asshole?
Oh yes.
Let's hear one of those.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll turn this into a Lifetime movie event.
I'm going to. That's why I'm asking her the question.
Okay, I got one for you.
I'm already on series 3.
Okay.
I'm pitching it to the network next weekend.
Are you ready?
Go, Kristine.
Are
Here we
you
go.
ready?
Okay.
Dude.
So one guy, he had dated this woman, and he really liked her, but he wasn't, like, he had too many other things going on, and their relationship kind of got stale, and it didn't really take off. But then they met up. He was like he was really into tennis, and he loved to dance and all this stuff. He was a great dancer.
Don't make him real feminine.
So
Anyway,
just they met up.
let's talk about one that was like a masculine motherfucker.
I don't know if she's got anybody who's like a stacked bodybuilder.
Here's my
guy.
only question, and I don't mean this as an insult. I'm not trying to interrupt you again. My only question, the reason I asked the question in the first place, and this would probably
He was handsome and masculine looking.
Well, I'm sure he was. He was a wonderful Will Belt tennis player. But here's the thing: I'm wondering, why is there so much anger toward these people who are wrong in the relationship? Why is there no level of acceptance for them doing the wrong, because they might have problems in their own lives that they haven't dealt with?
Yes, that's God. You are like Buddha. You're like a wise man. That is
Amazing question.
Don't let that get around. That'll ruin his reputation.
The Mangler.
A Mangler.
Story.
That one came from Lance.
You asked. I'm gonna finish the story, and then we'll get to that question. How's that? Okay.
Go ahead, Kristine. Jump in there, my friend.
So they started a friendship. They would do things, not really dating, but like friend dating or whatever. And they were romantic. And he started really falling for her, but because he bowed out early the first go around, he thought, you know what, she's not gonna trust me again or put any energy into having a romance, and we have so much fun together. I don't want to lose her as a friend. And so anyway, he calls me, and I wrote his letter to her, and he was so amazing. He went to a floral shop and handpicked every flower. I mean, he was really into her, and he put the letter in the bouquet and had it delivered to her place of work. And the following weekend, they had plans to go in. I live in California. They had this pageant of the Masters thing that happens every summer in Laguna Beach. So he picked her up to go to that. And she hops in the car and hands him a letter as they're driving off. And he's like, oh my God, what's that? And she goes, it's my letter to you. And she goes, let me read it. And she read her letter, which she was really on the same page. And they started their romance after that. So,
see?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
so see, he was a good
Sounds
guy.
like a movie.
Sounds
he
like a
was
movie.
The one that made the intervention, and he was so thoughtful about it.
But you
And
see
he
how
was
men fix the
thoughtful, and he
situation
didn't
so
want
much
to hurt her
faster
feelings
than the
or
women do?
offend her by, by wanting to be more than friends.
Yeah, but he was so
So,
thoughtful in the
he's
the
a hero.
process. Yes.
He's like a hero. He's like a folk hero.
I agree.
But in the other stories you've told us, the women are being so manipulatively conniving in their way to approach it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, according to my ego.
According to your ego.
No.
That's
No,
awesome.
no.
I have a
I
full
no, really.
section
I've enjoyed your your intellect on this, but it's just seeming to me that there's always two sides to the story, as there are in all relationships. So, both sides have to be told, and I think that might be the moral of the story in the man's version
Yeah.
and in the woman's version. And when both sides of the story are told, that's when the woman and the man can come together and fix that relationship that might be broken, or decide that it might be time to part ways.
That's right.
Wow,
And-
deep thinking from the mangler.
In my book,
Man.
Yes.
Relationship,
Yes.
I have a section on singles looking for love, and I categorize them in the two kind of the group that's sort of the haters, and the group that is the desperados and the haters. Okay, so if they've had enough heartache or they've had enough disappointment in relationships, some people tend to develop kind of an attitude about it and a judgment around it. And it's like, oh yeah, you'll go out with your friends and they're like, oh God, look at that guy, or oh, look at that woman, or whatever. And it's derogatory, and they've got their little herd and it's their pack. They hang out and they don't trust. Then there's the other group, often, these are two groups that I found, and they're the desperados. You'll see them out, the happy hour crowd, and they're like craning their neck for everybody coming through the door. And, they might do the 2:00 shuffle, shuffle up with
2 o'clock
somebody,
shuffle, maybe.
or shuffle to home on their own. Who knows? But they're so hopeful for meeting Mr. Right or the
I
best
bounced I bounced
or
in bars for 10 years. I helped them shuffle sometimes.
You never meet Mr. Right.
I you know what? I think we
right.
should partner up in the relationship guru department.
Oh boy.
You can help them in the therapeutic
Christine
level,
and the
I can help 'em
mangler.
you can help them in the therapeutic department, and I can help them into a cab.
Yeah, and be on the,
You're gonna need security at the door.
be on the lookout for the Mangler's new book. Dropping knowledge like an elbow.
It's the big giant guy with a lesbian's hairdo.
Well, Christine. But before we let you go, how do we get your books? How do we get involved with what you're doing, my friend?
All right. Thank you for asking that. So you can go to my website, which is Kristine with a K, like Kris Kringle, KristineGrant.com.
Fantastic.
And you can get the book there, or it's on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, what have you. And it's, again, called Relationship, How to Write the Words You Really Want to Say. And I also have, for the audience, a gift, which is the Magic of Words ebook. that they can get for free. Download it off my site as well. And then the other little thing I want to throw in is I have another. Oh, also, if someone would like to get on a complimentary discovery call with me,
yes.
I have different programs. So some people want to write their own letter and I can help them to edit it. Other people they just say, no, you do it, because it's not that I'm taking over. I'm kind of channeling in, leaping over that ego, leaping over the baggage, clearing the path, and tapping into your higher heart. So it's like your heart, my words. I have a way of
awesome.
I have an intuitive way of knowing how the other person's going to receive it. Okay, so
That's
and
deep.
this is for any situation. So if someone wants to hop on a 20-minute complimentary call, go to KristineGrant.com.
KristineGrant.com.
Kristine, I'm looking you up right now, and I'm definitely going to add that.
Before is I just launched an album called Love Letters, and my performer's name is Tina Rose.
Tina Rose.
And, yeah, it's a derivative. I'm a Christine Rose, so it's my Latina friends call me Tina, so I thought that sounds better.
Hey.
Kristine Grant kind of sounds
Look
like
at
a
that.
letter writer.
Look at that DJ you know who.
Tina Rose.
Spicy one.
That's a spicy one.
And Kristine, that album was called what? One more time.
Love Letters by Tina Rose. If you go to my webpage, which is tinarosemusic.com,
TinaRosemusic.com.
Yeah, and the musicians are phenomenal. I wrote the songs, I wrote the melody, and I sing. But the musicians, the instrumentalists, they are basically the brothers Corin, who are from Australia, and they were the front band for Coldplay and Pink and Bon Jovi and Rod Stewart.
Wow.
We have an amazing saxophonist, Chris Del Camino, that's on a few songs.
I think they wrote
And
a
I
few
have
letters
an
too.
amazing jazz violinist,
letters.
and that's Jamie Lightfoot. So
Look at that. Well, you've got all sorts of things going on.
Very talented.
I'm sorry, her name is Jamie Shadowlight. Hey, it's Sunday.
Any given Sunday.
You can
That's
go
what
down on
Samantha
the
said.
Sunday radio show.
Christina,
Christine
I
would've
appreciate your
saved me
time.
a lot of calls and texts, man. If I would have known sooner.
Oh, I've got a section called Texting or Teasing, and how to be the most amazing flirt and have the best dating results.
I need to
through
read
text
that.
Christina, I'm
messages.
writing you a
In the book.
goddamn letter right now.
You know what, though?
It's already in the mail.
Seriously,
It's already in the mail.
Very effective.
I would be ashamed some of the things that I would think that I would want to say to the one I care about to leave that in permanent print. I don't even know if I
You're
would
not
want
going
to.
to.
That's
will
why I
write it for
Snapchat.
you, and then you'll be
There
so
it is.
happy with what all is said that you'll want to frame it. Serious.
That
I
sounds
wrote a
beautiful.
poem for this one woman.
Well, they want to frame it?
Gave it to her.
Well, they
She
wanna
loved it
frame
so
it.
much, she
That's
had it
right.
engraved.
Wow.
Shannon engraved.
Wow.
Yeah, she had it.
Oh
It
my
was a
God.
Valentine poem.
Okay.
And her and her husband had a really tough.
Then you can
time
really
in
help me,
marriage.
Christina.
We got through it, and they were super happy. And actually, I'd written a letter for them before, and so she asked me to write a Valentine poem, and it's in the book. And she was like, "Oh my God!" And she had it engraved. That's how much she loved the words. So the words are coming through me. It's a gift, and I'm proud that I'm able to help so many people. And likewise, songs are words. Words are frequencies. So how we use
Yes.
our words is a big responsibility. It is.
It sounds like you're so passionate about it, and all jokes and all questions aside, it really does sound like you're very passionate about this. And it
Yes.
sounds like somebody that is so passionate about it is somebody who can help somebody who needs the help in that direction. And in that aspect, I'm definitely writing you a letter because the Snapchat's not cutting it, and every time I write a letter, they delete me and my
Snapchat's
number.
not
So
cutting it. They delete
we're
my
gonna
number.
have to connect.